you. I'll have this clicker here. Yeah, please come in, take a seat. I was talking to a friend of mine before I come to this session. I told him, I'm coming to Abu Dhabi, attending the Money Expo, right, doing a keynote. He was so excited. He said, Will, I must come to Abu Dhabi and give you a proper introduction. I told him, don't do that. You're too old. He's double my age, right? Too old. He's in the United States. He's too far away. So he insists that I record one of the audio from him, right, and play in front of you guys. And that's what I'm doing.
Good morning, Money Expo attendees. Thank you for being here. They say in investing, timing is everything, which is probably why I missed Bitcoin, bought into MySpace, and passed on something called Uber, because I thought it sounded like a sausage. But speaking to a room full of Money Expo attendees, now that's one investment I know paid off. And let's be honest, it's been a wild month. Tariff chaos in the U.S., markets swinging like a pendulum, and whispers that Fed Chair Powell might get fired, which would be an absolute disaster for the markets. Honestly, I feel like the smartest investor in the room just for holding a large pile of cash. But today's not about me. It's about someone who's pulled off something remarkable. He's made AI make sense to the financial services world. That alone ought to earn him free Dairy Queen for life. He's a very good friend of mine. When my grandkids start begging for a new GPU just to play Minecraft properly, or throw around tech jargon like it's a second language, I just nod and smile, then call Will to translate and tell me if I'm being scammed. He's been helping organizations across Asia Pacific with their AI strategy and architecture, trained thousands of professionals, earned the title of LinkedIn Top Voice, Top 100 CIO in Asia, and Top 100 Data Analytics Leader globally, and even gave a TEDx talk, which for the record is harder to get than a decent haircut in Omaha. So buckle up and sharpen that pencil faster than the Etihad Towers elevators, because Will is about to launch you into an unforgettable deep dive into the wild, mind-bending world of AI. And finally, a little secret. Will has a habit of sneaking movie references into his presentations. Spot them all, call him out, and who knows, you might just walk away with a surprise gift and eternal bragging rights. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, and soon yours, Will Liang.
All right, let's give him a round of applause, please. All right, so for the record, I know a lot of people recording. For the record, this is a deep fake of Warren Buffett. This is not real. This is a deep fake of Warren Buffett. Okay, so myself, when I grew up, I was a professional Go player. Who knows about this game? Raise your hand, please. Who knows about this? Yeah, a couple of people, right? This is a very traditional Chinese game. A lot of people compare this with chess. This is a much more complicated version of chess. In terms of artificial intelligence, one of the what people say holy grail of the artificial intelligence is this Go, right? It will never be defeated by AI for 50, 100 years, and etc. Until 2016. So this is when AI was defeated by Go was defeated by artificial intelligence at a particular year, right? So me, as a professional Go player in my childhood, it was a heartbroken moment for me, right? What am I going to do with my life? And that's when I started to learn AI, right? If we can't defeat it, let's learn it properly. So in terms of today, I want to make a few insights. I want to share a few insights about AI. Yeah? And starting with number one, everything has become AI-powered. Yeah, I hope you agree with me, because we're going to do a little bit of a game. Can you hear me okay? I feel like a little echoing. It's okay? We're good? All right, good, excellent. So, please extend your hand for me, like this, yes. I'm going to show you a list of AI advancements in the last 12 months. Hopefully, you all have seen this one way or another. If you like it, do a thumb up. If you don't like it, do a thumb down for me. Is that good? Okay, let's get started. First one, AI can start measure temperatures. If you have a Google phone, you can do this today. Yeah, I like it. Now, help babysitting. It can tell you why baby's crying. Yeah, very good. Now, ChatGPT released a search functionality. Do you use it? I use it a lot. I just replaced Google for me already. Yeah, it's pretty good. Excellent. Advanced voice mode and vision was released by ChatGPT. Anyone using it? Yeah, excellent. Okay, who believe you have a robot at home in 5 years' time? Yeah, do your laundries, iron your shirts, etc. Yeah. There's a video generation model. Sorry, anyone try this? I actually don't like this that much. Yeah, it's not that great. It's okay. It's not that great. Not worth it. Apple rolled out AI. This is a big thumb down for me. I hope I don't offend anyone from Apple here, but it's just not that great. Amazon partnered Anthropic. Alexa, anyone use Alexa at home? Yeah, it's still a little bit, it's not that great. Yeah, it hasn't integrated with generative AI yet. So this is a real restaurant in United States. It runs completely by robots. Yeah, does burgers, chips, etc. DeepSeek, who heard of DeepSeek? Yes, excellent. So a free model that has changed the world. Llama 4 was released by Meta. This happened last week. Anyone tried it? Yeah, it's pretty good. Excellent. We have quite a lot of technical people here. I love it. H&M store started using AI to do modeling. They basically told their model, we're going to use avatars from now on. Yep. The very first newspaper, you can buy this today in Italy. Every single article on this paper is generated by AI. Would you rate it? Quite a few thumb downs. I like it. Okay, so Gemini 2.5, this was released last week by Google as well. If you do anything to do with video analyzing video, this is the model to use. Yeah, it's very good. Please take a seat, plenty of seats. Work from front, that's fine. The very first humanoid robots joined the half marathon. Anyone read the China Daily newspaper here? This was the front page, China Daily, yesterday. So there's 21 robots joined the half marathon. Number 1 completed in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Is that fast? 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's faster than me for sure. Okay, excellent. This is a local news. I actually don't know too much about it because it's very new. Apparently this regulatory intelligence office was introduced here. So every regulatory change from now on will be automatically detected by AI in terms of its impact. So if anyone knows more about this, let me know. I would love to have a chat. Okay, I'm from Sydney, Australia. I live in Sydney. So we love steaks. And one of the things we like is to cook steaks, right? So apparently this cooker you can give feedback to the cooker, whether it's too raw, it's too well done, and you will come back and cook a better one for you. Okay, Meta AI glasses. Anyone love this? Oh, quite a lot of thumb downs. I have one. It's about $300 US. I wear it. Was driving in Japan in the car. It was quite nice. I did cause a bit of a chaos when I forgot to take it off entering men's bathroom. So that was a bit of a chaos. Ukraine has this AI avatar as a foreign ministry spokesperson. This is completely an avatar. In the US, this kind of chatbots start appearing in cities for local policies. Hey, I want to open a pancake store in the 5th Avenue. Am I allowed to do it? Who has done this? Come on, don't be shy. Yes. I've done this myself. This is a newer version of that. People have gone crazy on social media generating this kind of images. One of the latest models from OpenAI is called O3, and the O3 model has an interesting capability of pinpoint locations. So essentially, you upload a picture from your phone, it can tell you exactly where that is, and it's surprisingly accurate. Okay, AI have become a close friend. This is the ranking for me personally. I'm so sad today. Can AI help me, right? So this kind of, if you agree with me, in terms of this kind of ranking, I would encourage you to try this kind of prompts. You can take a photo of this if you want, but there's a couple of prompts you should try at home. Quite interesting. It gives you a lot of insights of yourself in the next 50 years. Yeah? And also on the other side, I've recently done a TED Talk on human relationship about AI as well. So just Google my name and TEDx, you'll find it. Quite an interesting TED Talk, I recommend. Okay, to wrap up, a couple of things. Who hates your neighbors? Anyone who hates your neighbors? Yeah, so you can buy this kind of security camera that shoot paintball to strangers. Okay, it's use AI to identify. Very good. Use AI to identify strangers. Never understood this, but you can buy an AI-powered toothbrush. This is my favorite. I do snore at night when I sleep. So this kind of pillow identify your snoring level and raise your head up and down to stop it. Yeah. So very good, very good. A few people know me in the audience. Thank you. So that's the first point. The second point to make here is that we are at a very early stage, in particular finance industry, right? We know this image, yeah? People know this image? This is the first version of web browser. So still very early stage. There are 3 stages in AI, widely agreed in the industry. One is called artificial narrow intelligence, then artificial general intelligence, where when AI is as good as human on everything, essentially. And artificial super intelligence, where AI is better than human on everything. So these 3 interesting stages. We are at the moment kind of in between 1 and 2. Most academics believe that we will enter AGI stage during Trump administration. Yeah, so that's depends on you believe whether the next 4 years or next 12 years. Yeah. Okay, with old standard, there are different versions. This is another version of this standard coming from OpenAI. So again, when ChatGPT released version 1, level 1 was achieved, the chatbot. Then when OpenAI ChatGPT 01 was released about 12 months ago, Reasoner was achieved. Then at the moment, we're kind of approaching this agent era. Yeah, anyone heard AI agent? This is like marketing everywhere. We're kind of approaching the era. In my view, we're still pretty far away. Okay. Okay. If we zoom into a bit more data in terms of the finance industry, we can see the adoption of AI is still fairly low at the bottom. Okay. So why present a huge opportunity? There's a few things, but the number one thing I want to mention or focus on is really this advanced contextual understanding, the number one. Yeah, it's really, really good with language. Language model really good with language. That makes sense. Why is that important? In finance, we know we have a lot of numbers, but we also have a lot of documents, right? There are documents everywhere. Okay, so it's great with linguistic tasks, which we know. It's very good with sentiment. So I've built many sentiment models for financial services, for regulators, and used to take a lot of time. But these days, with language model, so much easier. So what language model is not good for, this is important. What is not good for is numbers, is time series numbers in particular. There are ways to make it better. But out of the box, language model is not very good at this. There's a lot of research about this, and some people ask me, hey, Will, generative AI is still quite new, but that's actually not true, right? If you look at this particular diagram from a research paper, you can clearly tell even generative AI started 2019, so that's quite new, right? Everything on this page is a generative AI large language model. Most of people probably don't hear or don't know any of them, or most of them, and because they're not very good. Okay, so zooming into a bit more in terms of the investment industry, right? So I want to highlight a few things, a few use cases. The first one is signaling, right? Can we assess with asset allocation? We know for a fact every time Jerome Powell speaks, the market will move, yeah? Every time Donald Trump speaks these days, the market will move, right? This kind of signal, can we pick it up and help us from a stock allocation perspective? What about the news? The large amount of news articles, can we use sentiment analysis to help? So we've started seeing investment firms start doing this more and more. Secondly, query legal documents, right? So simple things like, tell me when I can do a drawdown under what circumstances. Usually what we do, we pick up a PDF document, 50 pages, we start looking for an answer, right? But with AI chatbot, we can do this fairly easily. And the due diligence, right? We do a lot of due diligence in investment. Can we analyze the last 12 months of trading history and tell me what are the flags, what are the problems? Translation, if you deal with any sort of investor or client that speaks a different language, it's brilliant. I'll show you an example in a second. Who loves to write investor report? Anyone just so passionate about writing investor report in the audience? Probably no one does, right? So you can start using AI to help prepare the investment report. NDA reviews, again, in investment, we deal with tons of third-party NDAs. So you can use AI to help you find out what are the problems. Just give both your checklist as well as your third-party NDA. Okay. If anyone knows this movie, let me know. This is probably the hardest one to guess. Okay, help with coding and modeling. You say, hey, Will, I don't really code, but you would use Excel, right? You write formulas. Get AI to help you to write formulas. It's actually really good at it. Red teaming, again, investment, critique your ideas. IC paper, if you deal with any of the investment committee, right, you would love to write IC papers. Again, AI is really, really good with writing this for you. Do a control DD if you deal with any of venture capital or private equity. Investor Q&A, this is one of my favorite, right? So essentially, if your investor asks you a whole bunch of questions about your investment performance or otherwise, you can build a AI chatbot to help you with that. I've seen many investment firms start doing that. It helps with client service. This is a very extreme example where a company in Kelowna that came out and said they built a chatbot that replaced 700 full-time agents, okay, and saved $40 million. If you want to do ad hoc data analysis in Excel, try use AI to ChatGPT to draw the graphs for you, calculate IRR, those kind of numbers. It's very helpful. And also in the pension fund industry, I've started seeing people using AI as a non-voting IC member. So IC is investment committee. Okay, so as I promised, there's a couple of things I want to show you.
Out of the Woods is one of my favorite songs.
So this is a translation example of Taylor Swift.
One of the goals I set out to accomplish.
And this was translated to Chinese. Anyone know Chinese here? Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, so it has her accent, right? It has an accent. And this is also this was also Arabic example.
Out of the Woods
I was told this has a pretty strong accent. But imagine this, how we used to do this, right? We basically send a video to a third-party agent and usually take 3 weeks to do it, right? But they call you back after 3 weeks. It takes another 2 more weeks. Costs about maybe $1,000. But those 3 videos or 2 videos I translated, I did it in 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes, costs about $3. Yeah, so that's kind of the speed of scale we're talking about. The third point I want to make here is the killer application for investment management does not exist just yet, right? So if you're CEO, if your board think that you can do something and make AI double your revenue next week, that does not work, okay? Because at the moment, many AI companies still look like this. Just be very careful when you engage with AI companies. Make sure it's not just a front of another company. Okay, so you can take a picture of this. I won't go through this because of time constraint, but in my view, these are the mover and shakers of AI industry as of today, right? So we have the infrastructure layer. These are the cloud service providers, the chip makers, etc. The platforms, these are the GPUs. These are the language models and the top applications layer. Yeah. If anyone know all the logos on this page, let me know as well. That's quite remarkable. Okay. The race to AI is a race to trust. Right? This is important. Why I'm saying that? Because many people don't distinguish old risks from new risks. Right? So when we talk about AI is dangerous, there's tons of old risks. These are not new. Right? We've been handling it for ages. But what are some of the new risks? Right? Hallucination, we know, come up with wrong answers pretty confidently. Disinformation, deepfake, job impact, safety is the Terminator scenario. Black box problem, sometimes it doesn't really know why give you a certain answer. Yeah? Biases, we have biases in data, so we have biases in AI outputs. Instability is an interesting one where we essentially say, you can try this at home, right? If you, same question, you ask ChatGPT 10 times, it will give you 9 different answers. Yeah? They may all be right, but we want it to be consistent. And also environmental impact, unknowns. So what's the unknown? I'll give you a quick example.
Just for the sake of doing
Have a look at what's wrong with this
really
video.
Important.
That's such a pure and admirable approach. It's clear you're driven by a genuine passion for what you do and the impact it can have, rather than by recognition or acclaim. It's refreshing to hear that kind of perspective, especially in such a cutting-edge field.
No. And I'm not driven
So
by...
can you tell what's the problem there? So on the right-hand side, this is an AI model. And on the left-hand side is a person, right? So all of a sudden, this AI model start mimicking this person without being asked to do so. Yeah? So this is something called emergent behavior. ChatGPT actually delayed the release of this model because of this particular thing. This is quite dangerous.
Do this.
Okay, so what does that actually mean? Right, so why that's important for us, right? So if you look at a picture like this, my car adds some scratches and some small dents. Right? You can do this today with ChatGPT. Another example, you can do this to fake an image about doors as well. So what are we thinking here? Insurance claims, yeah? Insurance claims. So this deepfake quite interesting, and also you can fake even a receipt as well. All right, I'll start wrapping up. I know what the time is up. So data strategies are competitive advantage here. So this is quite important. Why I'm saying that? Because language model itself are becoming a commodity, right? So we have this, they are seeing them getting cheaper and cheaper, and there's just so many different of them. So data strategy is important. Floppy disk, as we know, many of us have used this before. Apparently Japan still using this. But this is not us, right? So we are in the investment industry, it's more like this, right? So we have tons of Excel spreadsheets, and we have Outlook, because after you build Excel spreadsheet, you just send to someone with Outlook. I won't play you this particular video because time's up. But the idea here is, you remember that Taylor Swift example I gave, right? She was sitting there, she was very calm and talking. But with this one, this is much more complicated. So translating this is much more complicated, and in terms of data quality. So that's why data strategy is the #1 important thing. And just to wrap up, to make generative AI real in organizations, I recommend 3 things. One is people, one is process, and one is technology. So from a people perspective, find your purple people. Anyone know what purple people is? So technology people is blue people, business people is red people, right? So find your hybrid. And from a process perspective, set your guardrails early and clearly. This is super important, right? A lot of companies wishy-washy, what can you upload or not upload into AI? This is important to set clearly and early, because people use it anyway, right? Closet ChatGPT users, people use it and don't tell anybody, right? So set the guardrails early and clearly is important. And lastly, from a technology perspective, remember this, usually for organization, GenAI is only part of your solution, right? You need data, technology, and AI working together to build a full solution. I won't go through this, but thank you very much. Very happy to have a conversation after that. This is my LinkedIn, so please follow me. I do a lot of posting regularly. Thank you very much.